We live as if time is chasing us. Every morning begins with the sound of an alarm that doesn't just wake us, it commands us. Get up, move, you're late. We rush through our days, counting minutes, measuring achievements, comparing our pace to someone else's, trying desperately to stay ahead of a race that has no finish line. And by the end of the day, when silence finally arrives, we sit there, exhausted, scrolling through screens, whispering the same phrase we've said for years, I don't have enough time.
But here's the truth. Time was never the problem. It was never our enemy. The problem is how we relate to it, how we perceive it, how we've turned it into something we fear rather than something we live with.
I once heard a story about an old clockmaker. He lived in a small village, in a workshop filled with the gentle ticking of hundreds of clocks. The air there was heavy with oil, wood dust, and patience. People would travel from far away just to bring him their broken watches, and they all said the same thing. My time stopped. My watch is late. I've lost time. And the old man, with his calm, quiet smile, always replied, You haven't lost time. You've only lost rhythm.
That line hit me like a whisper of truth, because that's exactly how we live, out of rhythm. We don't lose time, we lose the sense of how to live in it.
When I first heard that story, I was in a place in my life where time felt like an enemy. I was running every day, working harder, pushing myself further, always with this voice in my head saying, You're behind, you should have done more by now. Every success felt too small, every pause felt like failure. I was measuring my life in deadlines, not moments. And the faster I tried to go, the more I felt I was falling behind. I thought I was chasing success, but in reality, I was running from silence, afraid of stopping, afraid of being left behind by the ticking world.
It's strange how time feels different depending on your state of mind. When you're anxious, it speeds up. When you're bored, it drags. But when you're present, time disappears altogether. The clock doesn't matter when you're alive inside a moment. Think about it. An hour spent scrolling vanishes, but an hour walking by the sea can feel eternal. The same 60 minutes, but completely different lives lived inside them.
That's when I started to understand something the old clockmaker meant. It's not about controlling time. It's about finding your rhythm inside it.
I remember sitting once in a cafe, watching an elderly man repair an old pocket watch. He wasn't just fixing metal and gears, he was in harmony with them. Each movement was deliberate, gentle, filled with patience. Time wasn't his enemy, it was his dance partner. And as I watched him, I realized something. People who master patience don't fight time, they move with it. They understand that time doesn't need to be conquered, only respected.
We've been taught to see time as a resource to manage. Time management, time blocking, productivity systems. But no one teaches us the art of being in time. No one says, here's how to breathe through your hours. Here's how to live inside a second without trying to stretch it or escape it. That's the real wisdom the clockmaker was trying to pass on. Time is not a tool, it's a teacher.
I started experimenting with small changes. I stopped checking my phone first thing in the morning. I began taking 5 minutes, just 5, to sit in silence before the day began. It felt awkward at first, like I was wasting time. But something subtle shifted. I started hearing time again. The sound of the wind, the clinking of a spoon, the heartbeat inside my chest. It was all part of a rhythm that had always been there. I just hadn't been listening.
There's this myth that successful people are those who use every second. But maybe success isn't about squeezing time. Maybe it's about expanding it. You can stretch a minute into something infinite when you're truly present in it. Have you ever had one of those moments, a conversation, a sunrise, a memory, that felt like it lasted forever? That's not imagination, that's presence. When the mind stops racing ahead or looking back, it enters the only real moment that exists, now.
The clockmaker once kept a clock on his shelf without hands, just a blank face. When asked why, he said, to remind me that the only time that matters is the time I'm living right now. That stayed with me, because we spend most of our lives either regretting the past or worrying about the future.
while completely missing the present. We say, "I'll be happy when," or "someday I'll have time for." But someday is a ghost. It doesn't exist. There is only this, right here, right now, and it's quietly slipping away while we wait for later to begin.
I learned this again in a hard way. A few years ago, I lost someone close to me. Suddenly, time wasn't this endless resource anymore. It was fragile, unpredictable, precious. I stopped counting days and started feeling them. I realized that we never really lose people to death. We lose them to time, to the assumption that there will always be more of it. We postpone words, postpone love, postpone presence, and then one day the clock stops, and we realize we were never really living in time, only planning to.
That loss taught me gratitude. It taught me that every morning is a chance, not a guarantee. That the people in your life are not permanent fixtures. They're moments you get to experience. And the only way to honor time is to live it fully. Not perfectly, just fully.
I also learned that slowing down doesn't mean giving up. We think that if we slow down, we'll fall behind. But the opposite happens. When you slow down, you begin to see the beauty, the detail, the meaning you missed while rushing. You start to notice your own heartbeat syncing with the rhythm of life. You begin to realize that the world isn't moving too fast. You just forgot how to walk at your own pace. The Clockmaker used to say, "Every clock has its rhythm, and if you force it to tick faster, it breaks." So do we. Some people bloom at 20, some at 40, some at 70. Some find purpose early, others after years of wandering. But every life unfolds exactly on time. Comparison is the thief that convinces you you're late. You're not late. You're just living in your own tempo. One day, I visited the old village where the Clockmaker's story took place. The shop was still there, closed and silent. Inside, hundreds of clocks hung on the wall, their hands frozen in different positions, like snapshots of lives paused mid-beat. And yet, standing there, I didn't feel sadness. I felt peace. Because maybe the point isn't that clocks stop. Maybe the point is that life keeps ticking through us, long after we're gone. That's when I realized time doesn't take from us. It gives. It gives us moments, chances, lessons. It gives us the opportunity to grow, to love, to begin again. Every tick of the clock is not a step closer to the end. It's a whisper saying, "You're still here," and that is something miraculous. So, what does it mean to stop fighting time? It means to stop chasing it, to stop saying, "I don't have time," and start asking, "What am I giving my time to?" It means learning to be where you are, not where you wish you were. It means letting go of the illusion that you can ever manage time, because you can't, but you can align with it. And when you do, when you learn to move in sync with time instead of against it, something changes. Life stops feeling like a race and starts feeling like a rhythm. You stop counting hours and start collecting moments. You stop fearing the end and start appreciating the now. You begin to see that the clock was never your enemy. It was your reflection. It was always showing you how you live, not how much you have left. So if you're watching this, feeling like time is slipping through your fingers, let me tell you, it's not. Time isn't leaving you behind. It's waiting for you to show up. The seconds aren't running away. They're offering themselves one by one for you to fill with awareness. Breathe, listen, look around. The world isn't in a hurry. Only your thoughts are. And maybe that's the real secret the Clockmaker left behind. That time doesn't belong to us. We belong to it. And when we learn to walk with it, not against it, every day becomes a gift instead of a race. Because the truth is simple. You don't need more time. You just need to be more in it. So slow down. Take a breath. Be here. This is your moment, and it's already perfect because it's happening right now.